Welcome to Spoiler Peace Theater, the podcast that doesn't give a shit about spoilers. We just want to talk about the movies. My name is Evan Crean. My pronouns are he, him. I am co-chair of the Boston Online Film Critics Association, co-author of Your 80s Movie Guide to Better Living, and co-host of the It's a Pictures podcast.
And my name is Dave Riedel. My pronouns are he, him. I'm a movie yapper, and I am a member of the Boston Online Film Critics Association also.
That is true. Yes, you are. And we're here to talk about movies. As always, we're going to talk about one movie this week. But before we get to that movie, I'll mention that over on our Patreon this week, we're talking about the 2026 film Ready or Not 2, Here I Come, which was a movie that I was eager to catch up with. Dave, you had seen it. And we talk about that, but you get a little bit of a mix of the first one as well, since Dave recently rewatched that and had a lot of fun talking about that movie. So if you're a patron, check it out. If you're not a patron, please consider becoming one for $5 a month. You get weekly bonus episodes like that one. There's hundreds of back episodes of that on top of the hundreds of episodes of this show, and you get to vote in monthly polls, and we'll have one of those coming up in a couple weeks, so look out for that. And while I'm at it, I want to thank our sponsor, Peace patron, Heather Sachs. Thank you, Heather, for your support.
Thank you, Heather.
I appreciate it. All right, we have one movie this week. We're talking about the film LifeHack, which I've seen both in the wild as one word and two words. We're, for the sake of our episode, just going to use the one word title.
Not that it really makes a difference so much in audio, but
no, it does not.
we are nothing if we are not, consistent.
That's true. And actually, speaking of audio, if you notice, I sound a little different today. I had a little bit of technical difficulties with the new computer, of course. So I'm on a different mic, and hopefully it will be back to normal next week. But yeah, just wanted to mention that. Anyway, so LifeHack. It's written and directed by Ronan Corrigan and co-written by Hope Elliott Kemp. It stars Georgie Farmer, Yasmin Finney, Roman Hayek Green, I hope I'm saying it correctly, James Scholes, Jessica Reynolds, and Charlie Creed Miles. That's kind of like the main cast. This is a small cast, a little bit Spartan. But yeah, we've got a story. Kyle and his friends hack for fun, pranking online scammers. Seeking a bigger thrill, they target billionaire Don Hurd through his daughter Lindsay's social media, stealing his cryptocurrency.
It's kind of a big jump.
Yeah, it is. They're all just kind of like partially bored, but also partially like, we're young, we're dumb, we're broke, we could really use the money. Let's like hack this Don Hurd guy who's kind of like he's like an amalgam of a lot of different, billionaire-y kind of people. Like, he's a tech genius guy, but also like crazy libertarian edgelord kind of guy. From the clips and things, you're like, oh, goes on like Joe Rogan and smokes weed with him and all this, jazz. And they're like, okay, he's bragging on having hundreds of millions of dollars in crypto. So they're like, yeah, we could totally like steal from this guy because his dumb daughter is like all over social media, like leaking all his personal details, and we could like find a way. She's like a model. We could totally like find a way to like get her, through him, get to him through her. And they put in place this plan to steal money from him. And initially they steal like $100K that they find from him. And they're kind of living large on that $100K, like partying and having a good time. And then the daughter comes back to them and is like, look, I fucking figured out who you are, and I could totally like, get you, but we could work together to steal that $100 million or however much it was. I can't remember. We could totally work together to do that, but that's going to be pretty hard because A, my dad cut me off, and B, he keeps like the login to it on like a sealed laptop in his office, like in the middle of his tech company. So they come up with this like insane plan to get in there and get the money, which they ultimately do. They are successful in getting the money. However, like, they all get caught, basically. Like, one of the crew, Alex, she actually goes there in person, and she totally gets nabbed, and then they all end up getting busted, and our ringleader, he gets away. Kyle gets away, and he's like hiding out like a public library or some shit like that. And he ends up like reaching out to Don Hurt directly, and they like cut a deal basically where he ends up taking the rap for it all, and so his friends could like get off. And he does some, it seems like some prison time or parole or something like that, like
1 year
maybe
and
2.
8 months.
Yeah. And so like the opening of the film is like a quick like, oh, he's having like a Zoom parole hearing kind of thing where they're like, have you changed your ways? Like, should we let you back on the internet? And he's like, yeah, sure. And yeah, but you find out that he gave the money back, but he also made like 300K in like interest or whatever before he gave it back. So he like tucked that money away, and
Mm-hmm.
then when he gets out, he gives that money to his friends for various things as like a sorry, I got you guys in this like crazy scheme.
Yeah.
And I should add the conceit of this movie is that it's done entirely through screens, a la movies like Searching, Missing, Unfriended. It's the same producer, and so that's the storytelling framework and device that we're working with.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you feel like I should mention, Dave?
No, I think you got it all.
Okay. Well, what did you think?
Well, it's got a 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, but not anymore. I mean, it's
Ooh.
not. I don't know. I think with movies like this, people kind of get caught up in the gimmick, and they sometimes forget to separate the gimmick from the storytelling.
Hmm.
And I think that the movies that we've seen that all take place on screens, like Unfriended, was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Like creepy and whatever. And then Unfriended, the Dark Web was really bad. And then, which is
Yeah, I
the
didn't
one?
see that one.
Okay. That's the sequel, obviously, to Unfriended. Which one is the one with Deborah Messing? Or that's
That's Searching, the one with John Cho.
okay. That one's
And
really
then
good.
Missing is the other one.
Yeah,
It's like
Missing's
kind of a
okay.
sequel.
Yeah. It's fine. And I think that there are some things about this that just from a storytelling character stupidity point of view. Now, granted, these people are like 17 years old or whatever, so 17-year-olds
Mhm.
do dumb shit. But the whole idea that they think they're going to successfully steal crypto from this tech billionaire is insane. It's
Mhm.
insane. It's insane that the daughter catches them and not him. I also think that it's insane of all the things that the tech bro guy has been accused of doing, black ops for basic. The whole thing is basically their company, Newton, does a lot of things, but one of the things that they do is like black ops. And so
Mhm.
the whole idea that, an employee would fall to her death in being stupid in Jamaica or wherever they were, and then he would cover that up is ludicrous. Ludicrous. I mean, the guy's got the money to like buy everything off, and we all know that rich people don't actually go to prison. If they do, they get shanked in prison, but whatever. And so that kind of, I just sort of had a little bit of trouble with the movies asking the audience to just believe some of this stuff, which is so outlandish. I also don't know anything about how good hackers, how fast good hackers can hack. So I have no idea whether this, their stuff is accurate or not. I don't know. I'm just assuming. I mean, I'm assuming it's not, but but for the sake of this conversation, I'll say it is. And I thought that the leads were variable in their performances. I think the guy who played the main kid, Kyle, was pretty good sometimes, and then there's some scenes when he is like just really bad. I thought the kid who played Petey he's okay. The kid who played Sid was fine. Alex was kind of not really even a presence. Her character is just so low key.
Hmm.
And then the whole idea that they're going to go do this. I think if this movie were shot like a movie, it would be a lot more interesting than it was. You know, if you're actually seeing the heist, not through blurry security camera footage, but you know, it's the heist reminded me of of the heist in the first Mission Impossible movie when they break into the CIA. That's what it reminded me of.
Mm.
You know, and I'm just thinking, you know, obviously nobody's being suspended from the ceiling, but it just seems like it would be a lot more dynamic than you know, hearing the boys scream while Alex is on a blurry black and white camera, you know, wandering the hallways of this place and you know setting a microwave on fire, um, which was a rather large explosion. But
Yes, it was.
uh, but I mean, it held my interest, but I really don't think that there's anything special about it. How about you, my man?
I
I
really
loved
enjoyed it.
it.
Yeah, I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum of you. I thought this was terrific. I mean, I was predisposed to like it because I do like searching and missing, and
Mm,
you know, in movies of this vein. But I found it very tense. I thought the heist stuff was extremely tense to me because it's all for me. There's a lot of things that they're trying to balance at the same time. They're all like remotely trying to do these things, like hacking the security systems and like trying to look up, you know, credentials and people and having to pivot on a moment's notice. And they're all doing this remotely.
mm,
And like to me, there's also this like added element of like danger slash anxiety from the fact that they are remote and they don't really know each other in person. Like some of them have met in person, but they don't really know a lot of each other's like details. So
right.
like if they just like get caught or captured, like you're not gonna know really. Like with they don't really know what happened to Alex for a long time because they just don't. Like they're not able to really
Right.
like talk to her or figure out if she's even alive or dead or whatever. And so I think that adds an element of anxiety, and that to me was very much working. And yeah, maybe it's a little bit outlandish some of the things that they're doing, but like when they somehow managed the first time to like steal that was it $100,000 in crypto, and
Something
they
like
like
that.
just barely managed. They like clone his phone and like call the mobile company and get it like switched to this other phone, and that whole piece I thought was really like interesting and
I did
tense,
like
and then
that
they
one.
just barely managed to like they transfer the money and then immediately like rip the SIM card out of the phone and like throw it in the you know, salt water or whatever. That to me was all like, oh my god. But yeah, I mean they are teenagers, so to me it's believable that they would fuck up something like the fact that the daughters did a screen recording and caught like their screen names in the reflection of that of Alex's glasses. That to me
Yeah.
felt very believable, something they would not think could happen, but would.
Yeah. Yeah. Um yeah, I buy that. I don't know. I just I did appreciate that at least one of them got swatted because you know, I feel like that doesn't happen enough in movies like
Yeah.
this.
Oh my god. Yeah, when they rushed his that one kid, they rushed his bedroom. Oh my god, that was fucking insane.
Yeah.
Um,
Was that Sid who got
yeah, there was
swatted? Yeah.
Sid.
Um
They just like
yeah.
came in and like ripped him out of his chair.
Well, the thing that was really funny about that is that was really tense, that moment, because
Hmm.
I remember thinking to myself, was like, all right, so we know that PD didn't really take part in it. Like he's sort of like he's got some problems with this, A, morally, and B, he doesn't want to jeopardize his chances to get into Stanford. Isn't that where he wants to go?
Right.
Yeah. And then Alex has been arrested. They don't know where she is. And so when Kyle and Sid are just like sitting there, like talking to each other over there, I'm like, when are we going to, like something bad has to happen to these guys? And then immediately afterwards, I had that thought and then Sid got swatted. I was like, oh, there it is. So that was good. I think that, I don't know. I don't know what it is. It was fine. I don't really have a problem with it, but I also, I think it's because a lot of times in movies like this, we've come to a place. I don't know if this has always gone on or if I'm just thinking it goes on more now. But even though everybody, what's his face, the main guy, Kyle, did do some prison time. He still got out. He was a minor, so he didn't have to do a lot of time. And then
Right.
he remembered his 12 passwords to reopen his crypto bank account, and he was able to send it. So everybody kind of gets everything hunky dory, wrapped up in a bow, and it's like, well, I mean, couldn't somebody have been like, shanked in the prison yard? I mean, come on.
Yeah, no, that definitely was wish fulfillment at the end that he managed to like both give the money back, pay the piper, and also save a little on the side to like help people out.
Yeah.
I liked the intro where they're scamming a scammer. Like there's like that Indian guy who they're like scamming him and call the cops on him.
Yeah.
That to me was a lot of fun.
That was fun.
I didn't love that they then turned their crypto scheme like on other people, and they were
Mm,
like ripping off other people after they got to Don Hurt the first time. I felt like that was pretty sleazy. And then they
for
were just like
sure.
buying like insane stuff, and they were just like blowing through the money. And I'm just like, I you want to talk about stuff that's not believable to me, that the parents wouldn't start asking questions where they're getting all this money, to pay for
Right.
these like insane things. Like Kyle's bedroom at one point, like later in the movie, it's like full, like floor to ceiling, like sneaker boxes. Like, come on, you had to think his mom wouldn't be like, where are you getting the money to buy all these sneakers? Like, that doesn't make
Right.
any sense. Somebody would start asking questions. There's no real believable way for someone that age to be like, even if they said like, yeah, I'm investing money, like I feel like I wouldn't believe my kid would be that good at investing money that they're making like hundreds of thousands of dollars like as a teenager.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I just barely started investing and I suck at it. So, I mean, I don't know if I'm good. It's a long-term thing. But
Yeah.
yeah, everybody knows that most day traders lose their ass. So and not that anybody is pretending they're day trading, but if teenagers were to do a thing to get rich quick, I think that day trading would be the lie they would tell.
Yeah.
So, um anyway, and the other thing is like, it seems to me, and I don't know whether this is true because I don't know enough about how hacking works, that a lot of the things they do still leave footprints, even though they think they don't. But
Hmm.
presumably the writer director and his co-writer presumably know about that stuff. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. I imagine. I mean, like to the movie, showing that there's the social engineering piece of it, like the movie shows where you're
Social
just
engineering
like,
piece theater.
yeah. Where like you just you put on airs and in confidence, and you're able to like con people into doing things or giving away personal information that they're just like not aware of, or
Mm.
using public information and taking some pretty educated guesses at passwords and things like that and security questions. I think that part to me
Oh,
felt very believable.
that was the other thing. It was the fact that this computer genius, Don Cheadle or whatever his name is,
On
Don,
Cheadle.
Don Hurd, um, would have a password where the password is like Lindsay 2003 with an exclamation point where the I is. I just don't know. It reminds me of
Yeah.
an old gag on Law and Order when one of the assistant district attorneys tells Jack McCoy, and you shouldn't really use your grandmother's name as your password for every one of your logins. And he's like, it just
Yeah.
kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree. It feels silly that he would use a password, and like a lot of what I've heard is like you should be using passphrases
Mm.
instead of like passwords that can be more secure, because like who's gonna guess like a full sentence or something like that that Um, so
Your mom is
like
so ugly that she couldn't guess
yeah,
my password. Uh,
But yeah, it seems a little too convenient that that guy is so cocky that he's got like a Gmail like draft where he stores his passwords that instead of
Right.
like any kind of like password manager or like yeah, that part to me agreed. It did feel pretty silly.
I have 3 password managers, if that tells you anything. So, um, well, and the other thing about that is you could, if you were feeling charitable, I guess, operate under the notion that he's so rich, he's so successful, he just doesn't have a care in the world. So why
Right.
not leave your passwords in a draft email?
Well, yeah, I mean, if it's on a compute, connected to a computer that you keep in your desk in your like highly secure office, like I guess they kind of like or it's something. But no,
Yeah.
it was a regular Gmail draft. That's where he had those like passwords. That's right. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's a movie. It's in some ways it's good if you don't think too hard about it and just kind of go with the flow of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
But
that's
I
true.
but I still found it highly enjoyable.
Yeah,
And
well, I hope that I was clear is that I don't think it's bad. It's just, I was unfortunately starting to think of the loopholes. So I
yeah,
do that.
no,
I do that though.
absolutely. I liked how Kyle would be like narrating like his thoughts on like how to carry out the plan and we're seeing all the actions happening in real time. I know like sometimes voiceover can be like really obnoxious, but I actually really liked because it's like if this was a math problem, he was like showing his work basically.
Yeah, yeah.
And I enjoyed that piece of him being like, okay, let's try this and then we'll do this and then you're just seeing all these steps like playing out in real time. I thought that was a good like storytelling choice.
Yeah, and there was actually something that I really liked. They did this a couple of times, and it's kind of a throwaway thing, but when they were like composing a fake email to someone, and they'd be like, "So we'd be like, dear Mr. Smith, what blood and blah blah blah," and you would see the words blah 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 on the screen, but then they would show the sent email, and it would be replaced with the real text that they had used.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
did like that. I was like, "Oh, that's a nice
Yeah.
touch."
That was a nice touch. I agree. And I also like the like when they would rehearse stuff with each other and they'd be like, well, obviously I wouldn't like say that. I'd like no, like go through it again. Like try it again.
Mhm.
That I thought was felt funny. Um some other kind of like Easter eggy things that I thought were fun in the movie is so when they make the fake ID for one of the guys to get in at the company, they make his name Kevin Mitnick, and Kevin Mitnick is like a well-known like hacker slash like white hat hacker
Mm.
guy, who like has done like security trainings and things like that. I remember my old work like compliance training. There were like videos that like Kevin Mitnick was explaining how like phishing and spear phishing and all that stuff works. So that was pretty funny to me. They made that like his ID. Um, and then I liked that they had the heist playlist. And I don't know if you noticed that one of the songs in the playlist was Little Green Bag from Reservoir Dogs.
I did notice that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, you're making me think of it more fondly. You know. I also will say that I decided since this movie takes place on computer screens that I would watch it on my laptop, and so I did. Not
Mm.
sure if that was the best thing to do. I mean, I don't think it was a bad choice, but I also just think, you should have watched it on a larger screen.
Yeah. I had to do the thing where I like plugged my laptop into my TV because for some reason the thing wasn't allowing me to watch it like in one of the like native screener apps. So I had to like still technically watch on my laptop, but watch it on my TV.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, I used to do that all the time. So my biggest TV is like this giant Samsung that I have, and I just bought it because I've had Samsung TVs before, and they're good and whatever. I didn't
Hmm.
check to see whether it's compatible with a lot of the movies that get sent to us. It is compatible with none.
Oh no.
So yeah, I have to watch it. I either have to watch it on a laptop or hook it up via the Slinky thing that I used to do, and I still have the I don't know what it is, the adapter. But otherwise, I have to watch it. I've all my other TVs are Roku's, and Roku's got all the apps for all that shit. But it's like, come on, man! It's got this fucking great TV that I bought for gaming and
Hmm.
4K, and I can't watch any of the movies that get sent to us. Oh well.
Yeah, that's super frustrating. I have a Samsung TV as well that I love, but I have an Apple TV that I have hooked up to it, and that has an app for pretty much like every streamer or like any of the studios that have like apps. Like almost all of them have an Apple TV app, which I'm very thankful for. So usually I
Mm.
can find a way to like watch my screeners that way.
Must be nice.
Yep.
That do you recognize? That's Gary Goldman there for you. I
Yep.
hope you
I
recognize that.
did. Yeah, I did recognize. Must be nice.
Must be nice.
Yeah. Oh man, he's currently got a one-man show that he's doing that is going around in addition to like I think some of his stand-up touring.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I should go to you with all of my Gary Goldman related questions, though. Gary Goldman, who is not in LifeHack, by the way.
No, unfortunately not. The last movie I saw him show up in was he was doing stand-up in Joker.
Joker,
That was the
that's
last time
right.
I saw him.
Yeah. That's the last time I saw him too. Do you remember that what's that guy's name? Dane Cook. He was the
Yes.
huge comedian like 20 years ago from
Mhm.
Boston. And Gary Goldman like did a tour with him, and there was a reality show. I mean, I wouldn't really call it a reality show. It was more like a documentary, like a 6-episode documentary or whatever.
Hmm.
Dane Cook did not come off well in it. I don't think Gary Goldman did very well either, because as I'm sure we all know, 20 years ago, he was in a very different place from where he is now. So
Yeah, he's worked through a lot of stuff. But yeah, I've heard a lot of not good stuff about Dane Cook, him stealing other comedians' jokes.
Oh, so blatant.
Him making rape jokes that were not, that people are like, what the fuck, dude? Why are you doing that?
I don't even know that. But
him dating like substantially younger women, and I don't know, like just a lot of like weird and or gross behavior. But I do remember, yeah, and like literally 20 years ago, seeing him everywhere, and definitely remember like watching and listening to some of his stand up and thinking it was funny. And now I'm like, yeah, no, not anymore.
yeah, I was never really into him, but I do remember 2 of his jokes specifically and being like, I'm pretty sure that one's a Steve Martin joke and that's a Dave Attell joke. And then I looked them up and they were. So anyway,
Yeah.
that's a long way away from LifeHack. But yeah. So first time director, I think. Also worth noting. Also interesting that I often wonder, what the compositing must be like for these movies, because presumably you're not shooting Kyle on an iPhone, right? So you've got to you got to shoot it. I don't know if you would shoot it wide or if you would shoot it landscape. But then you got to add all the stuff. Here's another thing that's interesting. So I'm watching my copy of this, right? And my name is in the middle of it most of the time. So it looks like I'm on all the phone calls. And like there were a couple times I'm like, wow, it kind of took me out of it too, which is there's nobody's fault.
Right.
But it's like, why are they calling me? That's so fucking weird.
Yeah, I get that same exact thing too. It's funny that you mentioned that, and this is a little bit inside baseball, listeners. But yeah, when we watch screeners, they have a watermark because they obviously want to know whose it is, and if for some reason somebody like screen grabbed input out there, then they would know. Oh, it was Evan's fault basically. But like, I think there's a tactfulness with which you can use the watermark. Like you can put it in a different part of the screen. You can change the part of the screen that's on. You can like have it come and go so it's not there constantly. And like I had that same problem too, Dave, where I was like, why is it saying my name in the middle of the screen? It looks like I'm calling people. It looks like I'm part of the movie. And like also it obscured text sometimes in a way that I was like, I can't read what's happening on screen right now because my name is in the way.
Plus, this movie did have the option to have closed captioning, and I know that you like to turn the captions on. So that would be like
I did.
Your name and the captions, and then the things you're missing on screen that you're supposed to be reading.
Yeah. Yep. It's funny you mentioned that because I did have that problem, but kudos to this movie for including closed captions because that is a big problem that most screeners do not have, and it makes it difficult to watch. I mean, for anyone who's a critic who's, has any type of hearing disability, but also like anyone with audio processing issues and things like that, it's a common frustration that I have, and I wish more people would put subtitles in their screeners for
Yeah,
accessibility.
and if for no other reason, movies are mixed in a very strange way these days, where you
Yes.
just can't hear dialogue as well as you used to be able to. And I used to think that was just me getting older, or maybe my hearing was getting shitty. But now that
Mhm.
like the New Yorker is writing articles about it, I'm like, oh, it's a real thing. So
It absolutely is a real thing, and you know how like a lot of people gripe that Christopher Nolan is particularly bad about that. It's like he does that shit on purpose. That makes me mad. That makes me so mad that he purposefully makes this fucking dialogue like hard to hear because he like
oh,
thinks it
I'd
like
never heard
adds
that.
yeah, it adds some type of like artistic flourish to the like, oh, like I gotta lean in to like hear what no, fuck you, dude. Like, come on.
I know, but then you start going down the rabbit hole of it is like, you get your Christopher Nolan stands, and it's like, is he really that good, everybody? I mean, come on. So
Yeah.
he's fine. I don't have any real problems with Christopher Nolan. It's just, whatever.
Yeah.
Sipping
Anyway,
my
we've
Pellegrino
come
there.
far afield, but yeah,
That's okay.
I was happy that closed captioning, and I know we're complaining. I know we're just like totally these are champagne problems, listeners. But it is funny to be like you're supposed to be watching the movie to pay attention to it, and when your name is in the middle of it, it's distracting.
It is bizarre. It's like, oh, boo hoo, I have to look at my own name on the screen. You try looking at your own dumb name for an hour and a half, all right?
Yeah,
Jeez.
it's true. It's like if someone forced you to stare at yourself in the mirror for an hour and a half. You're like, I'm
Yeah.
getting uncomfortable here. I don't need to look at myself that much.
I know. All I can think of, like, aside from the fact that I was like, why are they calling me? This is so strange. I was also thinking about that on Henry's baseball jersey. They spelled Riedel incorrectly.
Oh
So,
no.
yeah, it's like one of those things that I don't understand. It's like, why can't you look at the way it's spelled in the stuff that I filled out or that Joan
Mhm.
filled out? Why are you like, oh, it must be REI because it's pronounced Riedel? This is a conversation I've had with people my whole life, by the way. So
Is there a way you could fix it? Just like buy a patch and just patch over those letters to
I
fix it.
I suppose so, but what I should do is I should buy like 4 little tiny patches and make them look like quotation marks and put one on by the R and one around the L. There you go. Be like Riedel, get it? So
Yeah,
because the
throw
thing
some
is,
air
in
quotes in
German, if
there.
it were REI, it would be pronounced Rydell, which is how most Americans pronounce it anyway. Oh God!
Mhm.
Now I'm fucking talking about my name. This is so stupid. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was just looking through my notes, and the other thing that cracked me up was when he's like mid scheme, and he just Googles like penalty for bank fraud. Like, dude, come on.
Yeah, I do feel like that's something that a 17-year-old would do, though.
Yeah, like how much trouble am I gonna be in for this? Oh fuck, a lot of trouble.
A
Well,
lot of
too late
trouble.
now.
Yep.
Just can't get caught.
Yep. Oh, excuse me. Yawning here on you old Mike. Bad form.
Well, I'm not sure I have much more to say about this movie. Do you?
No, I don't, and as evidenced by all the tangents we've taken.
Yeah.
but we want to give people their spoiler piece worth,
Right.
So
Yeah, absolutely. No, I agree. Yeah, and I feel like we don't go on as many tangents these days, so hopefully, listeners, you'll forgive us a little bit, or at least enjoy when we're on some of these weird tangents that we've gone on.
yeah, well, we
Hopefully,
used
it's
to be a
at least
tangent
enjoyable.
heavy show,
Yeah.
and then we became a less tangent heavy show, and now I think we're weaving back in some tangents, and I'm fine with that. I like seeing where things go. One thing that we have not brought back is the singing, and I can't promise that that's going to return, but you never know.
Yeah, you never know. I'll sing along, not well, but I'm I'm game.
Okay, it may come back around. You never know.
Hmm. All right. Well, I think that wraps up this week's episode. LifeHack, I believe, is you'll be able to see in theaters, and Yeah, I would say see it. I think I enjoyed myself enough. Dave, you feel seems more lukewarm for you. You're kind of like,
Yeah, it's more of your mileage may vary, but I would also say that if you haven't seen a movie like in this format, maybe
mm-hmm,
this is a decent one worth seeing because it is all um, Unfriended, for example, as good as it is and as scary as it is. There were times when I
mm-hmm.
was watching it where I was thinking like, there really is no reason for this to be taking place over a computer. Whereas this one, it's
Yeah,
like, oh, this makes perfect sense that this one is taking place over screens. So maybe this is the one to see.
yeah, absolutely. And I feel like as someone who kind of like grew up in the internet age, I don't think I didn't have friends exactly like this, but I've definitely had friends that I like made online and would hang out with like in this like
Yeah.
forum and this like a similar kind of way where we'd like stay up late hanging out and like chatting. And so it definitely feels very believable in that way.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So yeah. All right. So one C and one your mileage may vary. There's worse ways to end up on the show.
For sure.
All right. Well, that wraps up the episode. I want to say thank you to our editor, Otto Clamor. Otto, thank you for making us sound so great week after week, and thank you for this week, and sorry for this week.
Yeah. Thanks, Otto.
You can find us anywhere you get podcasts. We also have a website, spoilerbeast.com. We have merch you can buy over at TeePublic to support the show. If you want to get in touch with us, we're on social media. You can also email us, spoilerpiece@gmail.com. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the life hack, on Ready or Not, or pretty much whatever else you want to chat about, movie or not movie related. We're pretty game. And it's been a minute since we heard from a listener, so it'll be nice to hear from you. And yeah, let's see what else am I forgetting about. Oh, ratings and reviews. If you want to rate and review us, which we'd very much appreciate, you can go to ratethispodcast.com/spoilerbeast. That'll take you to your platform of choice. Always appreciate a good review, or you could tell a friend about the show. That also is nice. And if you really like the show, like please consider joining our Patreon. As I mentioned at the top of the episode, we're talking about Ready or Not 2 this week. We have hundreds of back episodes starting, $5 a month. You get access to those. You get a weekly bonus episode, and then you get to vote in a monthly poll. And we have one of those coming up soon, so look out for that. And I think that's all I'm supposed to say. So my name is Evan Crean. I am co-chair of the Boston Online Film Critics Association, co-author of your 80s Movie Guide to Better Living, and co-host of the It's Pictures podcast. You can follow me on social media as Real Recon, and that's real as in film reel.
And my name is Dave Riedel. I'm a member of the Boston Online Film Critics Association. And if you want to follow me on social media, I'm Dave Sees Movies. Just about everywhere. On Twitter, I'm X Can Suck a Dick. And on Blue Sky, I'm David Riedel.
Nice.
Thanks.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.